Hey guys, it's Gigi. Welcome back to my kitchen. Come on in, let me tell you what we're going to make today. We are going to make some puff pastry, peach puff pastry. That's what we're going to do. I have been doing a little bit of the prep work for the sake of running the video too long. I'm going to lightly sprinkle some flour on my dough mat. And I have got a sheet of puff pastry that I've been letting thaw. I do know what I forgot. I forgot my little rolling pin. Let me grab that really quick. I'll be right back. Okay, I've been lightly dusting my rolling pin. So we're just going to take and roll our puff pastry out a little bit. And get it kind of evened out. Okay. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take sometimes I do with a knife, sometimes I do it with a pizza cutter, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to take and I'm going to cut our puff pastry right down the middle, and then I'm going to go across and I'm going to get 6 puff pastries out of this one sheet and tried to cut them all evenly, okay? And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take I've got my oven preheated to 350 degrees, but I'm gonna take my my baking sheet that's lined with parchment paper, and I'm gonna move each one of these, and then I'll bring it back into, matter of fact, I'll just bring it up here so you can, I'm just gonna get all these transferred over, and then I'll move my dough mat out of the way and bring everything into view. Let me cut that one through just a little bit more. There we go. Well, hopefully I'll be able to get that last one on here. There we go. Let me move this out of the way and bring it over here into a better view. Sit this over here. Okay, so I have got one sheet of puff pastry cut into 6 rectangles, okay? So then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take the same knife that I was just using. Now I'm not going all the way through, I'm just scoring around the edges. And for some of you that have been here with me since the beginning, I did this one year for Christmas. I did some apple pecan cinnamon puff pastries, but this is gonna be peach. I have got some fresh peaches that I have peeled, and I've added some good flavor to it. But I'm just scoring around the edges of our puff pastry. I'm not going all the way to the edge. I'm not going all the way through. I'm just scoring around the edges of the rectangle. Two more to go, and we will move on. Got my oven preheated to 350, and these will bake about 30 minutes. Okay, I'll be right back. Okay, now what we're going to do is we are going to take an egg wash and we're going to go around the edges of our puff pastry. Okay, now I'll get these done. I'll be right back. We've got our egg wash around the edges of our puff pastry. Now, I'll tell you what I've done next. I have got fresh peaches. I have got cinnamon, nutmeg, a splash of lemon juice on our fresh peaches, and I've just been letting them sit over there and infuse with all of these flavors. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna take the peaches and we're gonna put them right in the center of our, oh, it smells so good. Right in the center of our little pastry sheets. Okay, I'll be back. Now we've got our peaches in the middle of our pastry. And so I'm gonna slide this out of the way and show you what we're gonna do next. Now, normally, if I was making these for a large crowd like I did with the apple, I'm just making these for my husband to have something nice to snack on. He loves the pastry apple, so I know he'll love these peaches too. But what I'm gonna do now, normally, like I was saying, is I would have more. I would make up more. I would probably do 2 boxes and, you know, do 24 if I was doing it for a crowd or whatever. But I'm just doing 1 sheet because it's just me and my husband. But now I'm gonna make the topping and the crumble. And what I've done, I'm going to tell you exactly what I've done. And I will write out this recipe. It'll be attached with the puff pastry, okay? But I have got all-purpose flour. I've got cinnamon, nutmeg, cold butter that I have cubed into little cubes, brown sugar, and that's what we're going to make our crumble from. So now I'm just going to press this butter into our flour, brown sugar, and cinnamon mixture until it becomes like a crumble for the top of our pastry. When I did the apple crumble, I did put some really finely chopped pecans on that. But what I'm going to do with this crumble is I'm going to make a glaze with powdered sugar and lemon juice, a glaze to drizzle over the top of our puff pastry. And I do think I'm going to add a little bit more cinnamon. Just cutting that butter into the flour. Okay, I'll keep working this until it has the consistency of the crumble that I'm looking for. Now I've got the crumble consistency that I'm looking for my topping. So I've washed my hands, they're ready to go. I have made the crumble, made sure I really pressed that butter in there and got it all mixed up really well for our topping. So now we're just gonna put this delicious topping, and if you remember, that's flour, brown sugar, cinnamon, nutmeg, and butter for our crumble, okay? So now we're just gonna lay our crumble on the top. Our oven is preheated and ready to go. This is going to be really, really good. And I'll go back and put some extra crumble because why not? We've got a little extra left. So we're going to make sure everybody gets plenty of crumble on top of those fresh peaches that have been soaking up all those good flavors. Okay, now guys, I'm going to pop this into the 350-degree oven, and for about 30 minutes I'll keep a check on it, and as soon as it is done, we'll be back to make our glaze for the top of it. Our puff pastry is out of the oven, completely cooled. They baked for 30 minutes. I let them bake until they were nice and golden. And now they have completely cooled. So what we're gonna do now is we are going to make a glaze. Now up underneath it, just to keep the mess from going all over my counter, I've got a piece of parchment paper that I actually had these on in the sheet baking on. So I just use that same piece of parchment paper to sit them down there when we do the glaze. The paper will catch it all up, wad it up, throw it away. Easy cleanup. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna take some confectioner's sugar and I will just start with probably, those were heaping. So let's just say we'll start with 3 teaspoons, okay? And then I'm gonna do some lemon juice. This is the organic. I don't have any more lemons, so I'm gonna use my real lemon juice. We're gonna start with, say, a half of a teaspoon. Make that, we'll start with 1 teaspoon. Lemon just pairs well with the peaches. Just kind of gives it that extra burst of flavor. Don't want a lot, just want to drizzle a little bit over the top of our puff pastries. Just going to lightly drizzle. I don't want to go too fast. Might still have it a little too thick. I'm gonna put just a splash more, just a splash. Because we want it to lightly drizzle. We want it to be a thin drizzle. Oh yeah, now let's try it. Probably gonna have to make up a little bit more. May actually just leave a couple of them without it. Y'all look, oh, those look good. We'll get this small one right here. Only thing left to do, give it a taste test. Now remember, we did the puff pastry, and then we put fresh peaches that I had put a little lemon juice in, some cinnamon, some nutmeg. Let it soak up some of those flavors. And then I made a crumble for the top with flour and brown sugar, cinnamon, nutmeg, and butter, and cut the butter into it, making a crumble. And then we baked them. We scored around the edges of our puff pastry, popped them into a 350-degree oven for 30 minutes. So good. Of course, I don't care what kind of fruit that you use with puff pastry. Strawberries, blueberries, cherries. Now, sometimes you can do like a cream cheese puff pastry Danish. I've done that before too. But guys, let me just show you this up close. This was the one that's got the crumble, the peaches and the crumble. I didn't put any glaze on that one. But guys, quick and easy, and Pepperidge Farm did the work for you with the puff pastry. All you gotta do is kind of roll it out some, cut it up in your 6 triangles, or 2 sheets, 12, however many you wanna make. And make this delicious dessert that you could serve anytime for company, to have something ready. And I'll tell you, if you wanted to, you could make up some glaze right at the last minute and have something, you know, just a little. Let me show you something like this. You could put it in something like this, have it made on the side, and then just let them, if they want the extra glaze on the top, you can allow them to just pour it themselves. If they want it just like that with just the peaches and the crumble, or if they want it with the glaze on the top. But anyhow, well listen, thank y'all for hanging out with me. I certainly appreciate it. I got a drink around here somewhere. There we go. I certainly appreciate it. And if you like this video, if you'll share it out for me, I'd appreciate it. I will upload these later and attach the recipe for it with you. I'll post it with the recipe for you. I got my tongue all tied. But I'm going to go. But before I do, if I can encourage you to be the hands and feet of Jesus, be his mouthpiece. Share his love and kindness with somebody today, okay? And I'll see you back again in my kitchen real soon, and we'll cook up another recipe together. Bye, guys.